Welcome back to Strong Dads. All right, Zach, what do they have in store for them?
That's a great question, Andy. There's a lot. We covered some ground. We called out some tough love. We admitted to a few things.
Yep.
So if you know Andy, you all probably know Andy a little bit better than me, at least from this. Andy dropped some stuff. I dropped some stuff. And we have a kind of surprise verse that just came up at the end that helped kind of direct us to where we need to get started with this tough love thing.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, before we get started and you guys listen to this, we want to have a couple announcements. One, on Thursday, March 5th, I'm going to throw up on the screen here, Rock Solid Families, we've got a partnership banquet that we would love to send an invite to you guys. If you guys would love to learn more about us, learn about the direction that the Lord is taking Rock Solid Families in 2026, we invite you guys Thursday, March 5th, doors open at 6. It's a free dinner. It's at Higher Ground. Come on down. There'll be a link for you guys in the description to go click and go. You come to join us and see what Rock Solid Family is all about. Strong Dads is a branch off of Rock Solid Families. So, and then the second thing, we want to do a plug every Saturday morning, 8 to 9:30 at our St. Leon office. We do Strong Dads, which is a men's group that we hold each other accountable, get a little workout in. We surround ourselves with that, bettering the temple of the Holy Spirit, and then we dive into the Word and see what He has for us.
Yep.
Okay. So with that, guys, enjoy the rest of this podcast.
Is your car making a strange noise? Or maybe your golf cart needs a tune-up? Then you need to head to Quality Auto Mart. Quality Auto Mart isn't just about great auto repair and muffler service for your car. They're also your go-to experts for golf cart sales and repair. And we want to give a huge thank you to Quality Auto Mart for being a dedicated sponsor of the Strong Dads podcast. Their support helps us empower dads in our community and beyond. For all your car repair needs, muffler service, or anything golf cart related, trust the team at Quality Auto Mart. Visit them today and tell them the Strong Dads podcast sent you. That's Quality Auto Mart, located on Route 46 outside Batesville, Indiana. Call them at 812-934-2301.
Welcome back to Strong Dads. I'm Andy, and I'm here with Zac Strobl. Zach, how are you?
Doing well, sir. How about yourself?
I'm good. I don't know if everybody knows you. I know some of the guys on our Saturday morning do. Mm-hmm. And you're actually on our board for Rock Solid Families.
That's right.
And so you want to tell those who are listening who don't know you a little bit about yourself, family, background, something like that?
Sure. So Zac Strobl, from this area, which we're in Southeast Indiana. I grew up in the Cincinnati area, moved out to Indiana in middle school, went to East Central High School, proud Trojan alum, just like yourself,
yep,
Andy.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
And went to Northern Kentucky University. I was a big baseball player, had an arm injury, took me out of that, ended up getting into the entrepreneurship discipline, was into things like starting my own business, working at startups, and that eventually became my career. So kind of long story short on that, I work at local university now, NKU, and I'm the director of the Center for Innovation Entrepreneurship, where I get the pleasure of working with a lot of young people who are entrepreneurial. So helping them do things like start businesses, get jobs, and then, personally, I'm a dad. I'm married to Rachel. We've been married for 12 years now. I need to double check. Yeah, it's 12.
Rachel,
it's 12.
if you're watching this, he
12.
knew this immediately.
It's 12. We can edit, right? And I have a daughter who's 8 and a son who is 5. I'm a Christian man. I've been a Christian since I was a kid. I had my wild ways in my college days and in high school as well, but then came back, and I like to think that I've been living for the Lord since then.
Yeah, that's good. That's a nice introduction there. A little thorough. Thank you for that, Zach.
Yep.
I appreciate it. So Zach's on here to help us dive into the first podcast for Strong Dads in the month of February. We're talking all about love, and that's going to be great for Strong Dads. Just diving into romantic, sappy. No, we're not at all, guys.
You knew the guy to call for this, Andy. You're like, yeah. Zach's all about this stuff.
100%. No, we are talking about love, but I think the way that we want to take it, and Zach, you and I have been talking back and forth about what it looks like for podcasts for men to want to listen to.
Yeah.
We want something that's biblically truthful, practical, yet they want to listen to this. They want to share it. They want people like, man, what they said was good. And so I'm glad that you're on here, that we get a chance to try to make that today about tough love.
Right.
And so I want to start this off with, like, as you say that, like, what's a boom gut reaction? What comes to mind for you? Tough love.
I'm a pretty direct guy. I give pretty direct feedback to students, to people I'm friends with. I do try to think it through. I've learned that through the years, because I used to give people really direct advice. But I grew up in a household where that was the style, was being very, very direct.
Yeah.
So I grew up with tough love. My dad was tough on me, from sports to just life in general. So that was part of my life growing up, and there's probably some of that in me right now.
and I'm sure the bluntness and directness goes great with people, right?
Oh, 100%. They love it. But no, I through the years I've been more cognitive of, explaining to people, like, hey, here's why I'm saying this. Here's why I care.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed to be in a mentor role very often with students. So I try to explain, hey, here's why I'm telling you this, not just here's the advice.
It goes straight to your face.
Exactly.
My wife was, when we were very different. She's way more blunt than I was. I was a people pleaser for the longest time, and so I beat around the bush quite a bit. I was afraid to hurt feelings, but she's gotten to the point where she was almost too blunt, where she would hurt some feelings in there. But she's got to the point, like, I won't tell you my opinion unless you want it. Are you wanting advice? Are you wanting my opinion? Or you just want me to listen? Which is great, because they get a chance to say, if I actually want it, I can't be offended by it. I asked for it.
That's right.
And so, her dad actually, him and I get along pretty well because of that. He'll tell me, like, are you just talking for me to listen, or you want my advice? And so I'll go like, oh, that's a really good, let me think for a second here. Yeah, I'll take your advice. He's like, okay, good. Well, here's what I think. And then I get a chance to not be offended by it because I decided for it. So yeah, tough love isn't anger. It's not silence. And a lot of us who are listening may have a dad who was silent. My dad wasn't super communicative. He wasn't very good at communication. I don't know if I said that right or not, but, and it wasn't a bad way. He just, there wasn't a style. And so, but it's deeper. So today we want to unpack what tough love actually is, what it's not, and for us men, how we can apply it in our homes with our families. And I think big for you and I, it seems like we had talked about this, for other men.
Yeah.
We like to do things on our own, the Lone Ranger, lone wolf stuff. And I don't think that's really what God's called us to do.
No, not at all. I mean, in the evidence there in the Bible, just from Genesis, man was not made to be alone.
Yeah.
And the way most communities developed was in a community. I mean, that was very much how we grew up. And, I recently heard a study about how badly cell phones and smartphone usage is isolating us. It's putting us in our own world, just the way tech develops. I'm seeing that with younger people right now. It's really bad. So, it's a lot of men, there's plenty of studies out that are very lonely, and that's not what we need. And we need to push back on that. And it can be our own comfort, I think, sometimes, is like, hey, I'm just gonna do my thing. And I don't want to bug anybody. Well, that's not good for you, and it's not the way we were designed. So we have to be intentional about making sure we're actually in a community with other men and our families too.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. So let's start with with us, and then we can kind of dive into this. But like, based on how we grew up, and you kind of hinted around it, tough love. Your dad was tough on you. And I think my dad was too. My dad was, he was in the Air Force, and he always said, when I say jump, you say how high, right? That was his response to it. Yeah. And so, he was a little bit of a perfectionist too. I remember some things growing up, like, it's not worth doing if you don't do it right. And so I had this mindset growing up, like, all right, you got to be perfect, do it right. It's not worth doing if you don't do it right. And so they were tough in that way, which in some ways is a good thing. Like, there is some truth to that. If you're going to do it, don't half-ass it, right? We're not doing this for, I did it. Here you go. Yeah. Slap a name on it. It's done. But how can we take the perfectionism mindset, like, okay, that's a little too far to one side of the ditch. To the other side, well, you did your best. Great job. We're not going to be on that side. How can we find that middle path, Zach?
That's a good question. And I'll also say, my background, my dad was a bit perfectionist. He didn't grow up in the military, but his dad, my grandpa, did. So he grew up in a very militant household, and that translated to how he interacted with us, me and my sister. So I would say you can go pretty extreme on that. And that was my upbringing, especially in sports. My dad was really big on me being in the baseball, and fortunately, I did like it, and I am very competitive, so it kind of just worked out. But it was very much, hey, this is what you got to do. You got to practice. Hey, I'm doing all this work with you. You have to perform, so on, so on, and so forth. So I'd say on one side, it helped, right? Like it made me tougher. But on the other side, it's like I put way too much into that. That was kind of my identity. And when that was stripped from me because of an injury, which in hindsight, that could have been God saying like, hey, this is not your identity. Yeah. I have a bigger plan for you. And so I think we can't be too kind on things as well. Because if you keep, as dads, if we keep seeing our kids make the same mistake over and over and over again,
what is it? That's doing the same thing, expecting different results. What's that?
Insanity?
Insanity. There you go. Yeah, that is insane to think that they're going to go and do something different. Yeah.
Right. So we intercede, like we interject. We correct.
Yes.
As dads. So we do those things, but at the same time, for me, I catch myself. I need to make sure I'm letting my kids be kids, right? Let them be a pure child. Like don't squash their joy, right? That. I was thinking that the other night. And so that's that fine balancing act. And how, I don't know. Do you know? Do you have the magic formula?
No. And I think part of that we'll talk about when we get together with other men who have kids our age. My son is 7. And so close to age, and my daughter's 8. She'll be 9 at the end of May. So our kids are very similar to age. Yeah. And so we can bounce back and think like, how did you handle when X, Y, and Z? And then because if I just react, my reactive nature, and we talked about this, lack of control for me is anger. If my kids are not showing things that I feel like it's not control, like I am that's mine. Yep. And what that is, that's a reactive, and that's not correction, right? And I'm not being proactive. Like I know KJ's going to do this wrong. I know he's going to mess up in this capacity. How will I respond when he does? It's not a matter of if he messes up, it's when. Yeah. And so for us as men, how are we going to display tough love, knowing like, I love you, KJ. Mm-hmm. I'm always going to love you, but this was wrong. And how do I use that as a way to correct his behavior and teach him into a learning lesson versus reaction? I can't believe you. And then I start yelling and pointing and getting angry.
I'm guilty of that too. My wife, she works in the school system. She takes our kids to school, but I get up, get them ready. I might be up. Usually I wake up earlier than they do and get ready first. But there's mornings where my son he's not wanting to get up. Yep. He's not wanting to get ready. He's tired. Honestly, he's just tired. He just needs to sleep more. But I have to fight within myself. Stay calm, keep a calm voice, because I know, especially at that age, he's 5, at that age, he's watching my reaction. Oh yeah. And I truly do think that's going to impact him later in life. And so I'm constantly kind of trying to make sure like, hey, I need to self-regulate right now and make sure I'm not getting angry because it's out of my control.
Yeah. Now, was that you understanding that, or was that somebody like your wife saying, hey, did you really need to respond in that way? I'll say this because, hint, hint, my wife had to help me a couple times with that.
My wife has pointed it out.
Yeah.
I'd say in the morning, she's usually off getting ready at that point in time. So that is also me saying, hey, let's
be smart about this.
Let's calm down. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
And I've messed it up more than once. So guilty on that. But
I remember there was Oakley had this like baton that had like water in it with some glitter or something like that, and like you would throw it around while KJ was playing with it, and I was like, you gotta be careful with that, man. And then whacks me in the face, and of course my instant gut reaction, I did this, took it, broke it over my knee, play with that now, threw it down and walked away. That was my reaction.
That's a confession, Andy.
Because I did. I know.
That's a confession.
And they both went wide eyes at me. They saw me at like anger and rage. They wide eyes and then tears. And then, of course, it took a conversation for my wife, which, again, for her, like, this was a good step for her. I thank you. This is where, men, we need our wives to be strong in this way. She looked at me and said, you screwed up. How are you going to make this right? I was like, and so the next, tough love isn't loud. It's intentional. It's not emotional. It's intentional. So I had to, like you said, regulate myself, come back in another situation, get down to their level, meet them where they were, and tell them that I was wrong in that sense and had to apologize, which is, for some of us men, it might be hard to do, to admit that, like, oh yeah, I screwed this up.
Yeah. I will say the other day, I'll confess one too. Lincoln, we're outside sled riding. Yeah. Lincoln throws a snowball at me and just nails me in the neck. And so what's my reaction? I'm going to throw one back at him. And so like that's... Remember what I said about baseball? I still have an arm.
Oh yeah.
And I overreacted, but I immediately just said, Lincoln, I'm sorry, buddy. I hugged him and I said, I'm sorry. And he said, I'm sorry too, Dad. I said,
First, I thought you were going to say you were proud of him for the accuracy to hit you in the neck. Like, dude, nice two-seam.
Yeah, he knew better on that one.
That's good. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you had said this. I'm going to confess to one another our sins. The Bible says, this is how we learn from it, how we grow. Mm-hmm. You and I are both into exercising. In order to grow, we've got to do things that aren't necessarily normal to us. We've got to push ourselves. Yeah. And then from that to understanding, that's where we can grow in our body and we develop. So, yeah, I'm looking here at Hebrews 12. When I think of tough love, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace. I tell you what, sometimes it's not easy to discipline our kids, and the right sort of discipline.
Well, I mean, part of that is you can be the fun dad and let them run around, let them act up. I mean, it's not, especially if you're in a social setting and your kid's acting up, you have to stop what you're doing and go discipline your kid. Or at least, I mean, and when I say discipline, I just mean for most of the time it's, hey, you're pulling them to the side and saying, stop.
We don't do this.
We don't act like this. Yeah. We're trying not to yell, right? Like that's
it's intentional.
Try not to
tough love.
Try not to
loud.
overreact.
It's intentional. Yeah.
But I mean, we could just be the fun dads.
Yeah.
And not do anything at all.
Let them be kids. Stop worrying about it.
Yeah, but I'm picturing them when they're 21. Yeah. What are they going to be acting like then? And so that's what's in my mind. I don't know about you. Yeah,
when you pulled him aside and you said this is how we act, what immediately came to my head is, does he know that's not how we act? Mm-hmm. Have you, and you men with young kids, have you set the expectation, guys, this is the behavior we want to see? Have you set those core values, the boundaries? Like, this is not what we do. You know this, right? Yeah, I know we don't jump on couches, and I don't care if it's our house or somebody else's house. We just don't. So I think that's the first thing I think of is the intentionality behind our kids. What behavior is acceptable? Does Lincoln and your daughter, does Lily, do they know that? For Oakley and KJ, for me, yes, but they get lost in the fun and with their other friends, and they're doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, the point of when we've said stop 3 times, and they're still running, I'm like, okay, I have to interject.
You have to be intentional. Hold on, I'm having with my friends. I'm talking. I'm gonna have to step away from my fun to go and do something as a dad. Like it'd be very easy to just go in the basement, do it out of sight, out of mind. We're gonna go have a couple beers. Not worried about it.
Yep. Let the wives worry about it.
You got that right.
No, we can't. We can't.
Yeah.
So
we're going to pause right now from our conversation to go thank one of our sponsors.
Are you hungry for some fantastic food and a great atmosphere? Then head over to the Hebron Grill. Distinctively Southern and soulfully unique, the Hebron Grill has something for everyone. It's the perfect spot for family dinners, a quick lunch, or catching up with friends. We want to send a huge thank you to the Hebron Grill for being a sponsor of the Strong Dads podcast and for their incredible support in helping us empower dads everywhere. So the next time you're looking for a great meal, remember the Hebron Grill. Find them online or stop by today. That's the Hebron Grill. Great food and great community.
Welcome back. Yeah, so we've spent a lot of time with kids with this, but I want to shift the focus here for a little bit. Maybe the second half of this of this podcast. Not everybody who listens to this has kids, so how does this apply for men to men? We talked about being in community. So how does this tough love apply in that situation?
That's a great question. So one thing I want to point out is, have you seen the movie Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, that's old guy, young kids that he's trying to shape up, right?
Yeah, he ends up mentoring a young boy.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep.
And in one of the scenes, he takes him to the barbershop. And it's him and his buddies. So Clint Eastwood's probably in his 70s in that movie, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
He's like a grumpy old man, right? Like, I think
get off my lawn.
Yeah, get off my lawn. I think he's a World War II veteran.
He's got sweet cars in the garage, right?
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Very nice car. For the car guys, yeah. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But there's that scene where he goes in the barbershop and they're all making fun of each other.
Yeah.
And the kid doesn't know what to do at first.
Yeah.
And so Clint Eastwood's kind of saying like, hey, you have to make fun of him back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of like being around other men is we're gonna make fun of each other.
Yes.
Andy was trying to make fun of me earlier, and then I jabbed right back. We were talking about our athletic achievements. So Andy's trying to point out that I'm getting old. So
yeah, he is. He's got some gray hair in his beard. I'm just being
on.
factual here. I'm letting. Yeah, that's a really good point, and I remember that scene too. He was like awestruck to it, and I think we get this aspect of like bullying is really a hot topic word in education.
Right.
I spent the last 10 years teaching, and I did not agree with the usage of that. And I'm like, you know what? Peer pressure kind of helps to drive good behavior.
Right.
When you're around your friends and everybody looks at you when you do something dumb and wrong, you don't do that again.
Yeah.
And when they call you out on it,
right.
like, hey, you don't do that.
And I personally have not been in the school system in that era, but I grew up in the 90s. And then I graduated in the 2000s.
Yep.
So
what you were saying, we weren't politically correct when we were making fun of each other back then. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's safe to say. That is safe to say. But I mean, yeah, you're right. You learned social behaviors based on the reaction of others.
Yes.
And so I don't know what extreme that has gone to now, but I can just tell you the men's groups I'm in, like, and these are strong men, and I think that's another good point, is like, how do you learn from other men?
Yeah, that's good.
And like men from a variety of ages, but older men they do that all the time. Like they're gonna joke around with you. Now the jokes have gotten much softer, I would say. Like they're much more.
They're worried if they joke with the wrong person.
We'll say like biblically correct.
Okay, that's go ahead and put it.
But there's plenty of joking that goes around in my men's groups.
What you said was really good. I want to hold on there for a second. You said, well, how do you know how that reacts? And you said you got around them. What did Jesus do? Come follow me.
Yes.
Right. And so for you guys,
spent a lot of time together.
Yes.
It was him he was a teacher. I mean, he was. Yeah. That's what Jesus did.
Spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And so the first time I ever got into a men's group, this was awkward at the time for me, but it changed my life. I cold called a acquaintance, if you call it that. Now he's one of my best friends. But I knew I needed a man in my life. I knew for some accountability things I was struggling with, and I didn't have a community, and I knew I needed it. So I was like, literally like, dude, I need a man in my life. Can we start hanging out? Like, I literally cold called him on a night.
Older guy?
No, my age. A little bit older, but like, no, around my age.
Okay.
Enough, but because I had a little bit of like mentorship things going on, but I needed somebody I could run with.
Okay. So what were you looking for?
I needed accountability. And I needed somebody to say, hey, buddy, you screwed up here.
And so what did you see in this guy?
What I saw from him was truth. He was okay to look at me and say, like, hey, you screwed up here. I'm okay telling you the truth.
What else?
For him, behavior that I wanted to model.
Was he a follower?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So I called up a follower
Yep.
of Christ.
Yep.
Was doing things that behavior that I believed was correct and wanted to follow, and I knew he'd call me out on things when I was screwing up.
Okay. And when I said follower, I meant follower of Christ, not a.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure he had leadership qualities too, right?
Yes. Yeah. But it started the process, and then when I got into a men's group, that's where I noticed what you were talking about. Like, these guys have what I want.
Right.
Let me be a sponge to them.
Yeah. My most recent, we have our Strong Dads group, right?
Yeah.
Open invite.
8:30 to 9:30.
8:30
Our
to
St.
9:30.
Leon office. Come on in every Saturday morning.
No, 8 to 9:30.
Yeah, 8 to 9:30. I meant
Yeah.
that. 8 to 9:30. Edit. 8
8 to 9:30.
Yeah.
Andy shows up at 8:30 sometimes, guys.
I was late one time.
We're working out. We're sweating.
Was it the first or second time or something?
Andy's like, all right, I'm ready.
I do remember that. Yep.
I'm joking. Andy's there. He leads sometimes. So no, that one's open invite, right? I have another group, not open invite.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's guys who started with a smaller group. And we said, hey, I need someone to call me out. That was one of the things I said.
Yep.
I said, guys, I need you to be able to call me out, because right now no one's calling me out in my life.
Yeah.
And if you see something I'm doing wrong, I need you to say something.
Yeah.
I also need someone to look up to, someone who's been around, and others who are younger, who I can mentor as well.
Yeah. Timothy's.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so that's the design of that group.
Yeah.
And the guys we asked to be in it, most of them right away, I'm in.
Yeah.
They saw the character of the other men who were joining this group, and I mean, first off, they're all believers. They're all husbands. I think everyone in there's a dad. Everyone in there's a dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so it's, there's that thing in common, but it's just everyone's on their own journey. We're not perfect. In those groups settings, like we say things that's wrong and not perfect all the time. But I learned so much from those men, and I honestly, I owe them a lot. I've had that type of mentorship in my life. And so giving advice to others, if you're not in one of those groups, I mean, where do you even start, Andy?
I told you I cold called, but I think too, part of it is finding other groups like Strong Dads that meet on Saturday morning, and through communication of, I don't know where to go. I went into church homes. But again, I do want to go back, I don't say push back a little bit, but on the group you said, I'm okay with other non-believers coming in the group if they're the young ones you're pouring into.
Sure.
Because how do you spread the gospel to people who don't know Jesus?
Yeah,
you can only hang out with Jesus followers, right? Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is the prescription for everybody.
Yes.
This was what worked for this group.
And what you needed in that season.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
100%. And so, that's just how this group, I have been in other groups.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So there's, a lot of churches organize a life group, right? And it's, something you go sign up for.
Yeah.
We've all done that. And we all said, hey, we've done that. We're all volunteering. Some of these guys are even ministers. Like it's everyone's active in their faith and they're giving, right?
Yeah.
And so we all just said, hey, we need a group where we can just talk to each other about things that we're doing.
And like you said, you have two groups. Because our Saturday mornings, that's not a closed group for only followers of Christ.
No, that's
not at all. We are going to be biblically correct, but we want other people who, like, if you don't know Jesus, come on into a Saturday.
Yeah.
We're going to work out. We'll talk about it.
100%.
And so I think to that, you asked me, how do you get started in a group? One, it's going to take conversations like this and knowing, did groups like other men's group, did that change your life?
Are you asking right now?
Yes, asking right now.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, even before I was in a men's group, I was in a young adult group. I met my wife in a young adult group. You know whose group it was?
We're in their house?
Merle and Linda's.
Yeah.
Merle and Linda's small group. I met my wife. So, I mean, I'm a big believer in these type of communities.
Yes.
And so it's helped me gratefully.
So then to go with that, if you know something is good, if you've got something good, do you just hide it to yourself? Like, no, this is my good thing.
Yeah.
Or do you say, guys, you got to get in a men's group?
I'm just joking.
It's only mine. No. And so, how do we do this? Guys, if you know something is that impactful, it changed my life. And I joke about it like I did. I kind of cold called. And it led to a conversation, and the conversation led to more conversations, which led to an invitation into his men group. I sat down with the leader. It was a kind of a closed group. We had talked, we had prayed. A couple weeks later was my first time. So it was a month long. Cold call to going into a men's group was a month worth of prayer and conversations if I was even able to go in there. That led to, it changed my life on, wow, men need other men. You've got to be in community with other men and a place where you can be vulnerable, they can hold you accountable, and you can grow in ways you've never seen.
Yeah, something else I'll point out is what do you do in these groups? Men tend to not just want to sit around in a circle looking at each other and
tell
just
me about your feelings, Zach.
tell me, yeah. Men do well when there's a thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? So that's like strong dads. What do we do first?
We go get a workout in.
Work out, sweat, make fun of each other.
Yep.
I mean, that's the plan, right? That's the formula. That's what works. And then
Yes.
we sit down with our Bibles.
Yes.
And we do a study, right? And so you don't have to like just go to some place, pull out your study guide, and start going through it step by step, right?
Yeah.
I mean, men are better off when you're around a campfire.
That's great.
If you've ever been to like any of these church camps that are pretty popular right now,
Yep.
those are great avenues to meet some guys.
Oh, yeah.
I know some of our friends at the Fight
Yep.
have one coming up,
They have
right?
one in February, 21st, 22nd, that weekend.
Great opportunity. I've done those kind of things. I've led one.
Mm-hmm.
Those are phenomenal. It gets guys active, doing things,
Yep.
and you build that camaraderie.
Yeah.
You also are going to meet a lot of guys as well.
Yeah. And your cousin or something like that does with hunting or something like that? Does like a group?
My nephew Reed,
nephew.
I'm very, very proud of my nephew Reed. I hope he listens to this. He has felt called, and I 100% believe it's a true calling, to lead his own ministry. And what he does is they all bond around archery,
That's archery.
and the Bible.
Yeah.
And it's one of the coolest things. He has all walks of life coming into this place.
Yeah.
And he's always been like this since he was a kid. He's always had friends that were his age, younger, and the old guys. I mean, it is phenomenal kind of seeing him work. And so when he had a big event recently, bunch of guys, all ages, not just guys. He invites their wives, in some cases it's the girlfriends.
Yeah.
There's kids there, and I just walked in there. I'm like, holy smokes, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I'm seeing my brother, the rest of my brother's family, like really cool stuff. And he led a devotion, and then we shot archery. Right. And
that's cool.
And I won, by the way. I need to point that out.
I gotta make sure you guys know this.
Yeah. I won the competition. So, but
they
no,
do
just
it around archery.
It's archery. Yeah. Archery in the Bible.
Isn't there people that at a local church that they play basketball? Or maybe they go around basketball?
Yeah.
That they used to. Anyways, what we're getting at is finding a group of men takes, one, the men who are in the group to share it, and two, it takes you being intentional to reach out. We've said intentional quite a bit here. I think
There's a theme.
There's a theme.
Is this the podcast title?
Tough love, intentionality. But and so I want to go through Proverbs 27. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. So for other men, you had said accountable. I need to be in a group that we do something: archery, basketball, lifting, whatever it is. It takes us sharing that is impactful for us and inviting other people. And then when we get there, we've got to call a friend out. You can challenge some laziness, like especially for us on Saturday mornings, like what, you don't want to show up and go get a workout in? Mm-hmm. There's some laziness in that.
Mm-hmm. If you're listening, you feel guilty, there's a reason.
The Holy Spirit, that's conviction, my friend. That is conviction. Yeah, and I think we're just looking at, what these qualities in this group of men, the devil thrives on us being isolated. Lone wolf ranger. Yeah, no.
That I truly believe that is how evil picks you off.
Yeah.
Isolated.
Yep.
Not together. I mean, that's how wolves hunt.
Yes, pack mentality.
Pack of wolves. They want to get you isolated. They want you away from the herd, right?
Yeah.
And so there's strength in numbers.
Yeah.
And it's just how we're called to live within community. And it's really tough in our day and age.
It is.
It's tough for me. I know you've expressed it's tough for you, and it's really easy just to go home.
Yes.
And say, hey, it's just going to be a day of just us, right?
Or we do the busyness of life. I've got work I got to do, and my kids have sports, and I've got this, and I've got this. And then you realize, like, man, I haven't reached out to my friends in a while. I haven't done it. And that intentionality to draw a line and say, I'm not okay with this. I'm not trading. You talked about phones and the increase in phones. I saw a study where, I don't know what year it was, but the square footage of houses increased greatly. But the people inside the houses decreased at the same rate.
Oh.
So we traded space for that isolation. I've got a bigger home now, but there's actually less people in it. Yeah. And so, what we're talking about here with tough love, we've got to be true to ourselves. Are we in that community? If not, how do we get out to it? One, like, guys, we've talked about it. We've had this open call Saturday mornings, not 8:30, 8 to 9:30 in our St. Leon office.
So something else I think is important with tough love. What about taking responsibility for your own actions?
Yeah. And I think that vulnerability is hard for people because they don't want to feel like a failure. Or a letdown. Like, I screwed up, I let people down, I let myself down, or whatever the case is. But the truth is, in order to grow, we've got to admit, I didn't do this well. I screwed up. I fell short. Yeah. That's being coachable.
Yeah, and I think the flip side of that is beating yourself up.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that.
2 ditches.
Yeah.
Stay in the middle. Yep.
Yeah. So it's, on one side, you need to take responsibility for your actions. If you are feeling like, hey, I'm not in these groups, you take the first step. We gave you a bunch of ideas, right? I mean, it's on you now to make something happen. Yeah.
I've heard somebody, if you can't find a group, start a group. Oh, man, I want to do something with, I don't know, polo. That's the thing you can do. I don't know. I'm making it like, find some like-minded individuals that want to chase after the heart of God through your cousin archer or nephew archery.
Yeah, I mean,
lifting, whatever.
And that's a great example. But I mean, you can also start at your church and just ask the staff, the head pastor, whomever it is that you need to talk to, and just say, hey, what's a way I can get plugged in? What's one thing I can do? And if it's, hey, I need to be in a men's group, just say, hey, do we have any men's groups going on right now? Yep. And just ask that question. Even if there's not like a open enrollment, for lack of a better term, just say, like, well, why not? Like, can we get one going? Like, there's people like me who need one. So you can push back a little bit too. So don't be afraid to keep asking, like, if this is something you see that you need, or, I mean, ask around, like, who are the guys that are plugged in? Yeah. Who are the guys that you see out in the foyer on Sundays talking to a bunch of other guys, right? So ask one of them, be like, hey, how do I get plugged in? So but you're going to have to take that first step and do something. Yes.
And that's where I think, for us, let's put some applications with this as we kind of go and wrap the show up. I think the first application is having one honest conversation. You had talked about that vulnerability. Let's be honest and vulnerable and have that conversation with your wife. And for me, that was my wife's conversation too, where I reached out to my friend and for the men's group. Or it's a good friend at work, a coworker, brother, dad, somebody. Have that conversation and asking them, am I missing something? Whatever the case is, what that conversation looks like. For my wife, she's like, you need another man in your life to hold you accountable. It can't be me. That's what it started
Your
with.
wife told you that?
Oh, yeah. She's amazing. I credit my wife for a lot. And again,
good job, Catherine.
Going through a lot of stuff, I struggled with that because I was too busy. I had too many things on my plate. I had to juggle. I don't have time for all this. I'm good. Okay. I got this.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and you also, in our notes here, you talk about, like, with your child too. It's a lot of dads listening. If you're not having one-on-one conversations with your child, I mean, please take that first step too. Yeah. They need you. They need you as a mentor in their life. And so you having a calm conversation with them, doesn't matter what age they are. I mean, if they're very little, start practicing this now. Yes. And so, that is very, very important, that you're showing an interest in their lives and lovingly pointing some things out to them. Yeah. And not just that, but more important, point out when they do good.
Yes. Yeah. We had a really good conversation We went to Batesville's Family Rock series last night, and I had multiple parents. I was with some preteens and teenage parents for boys, and they said they don't want to talk. I keep asking them, they don't talk. And I said, did you ask them on your terms? You sit them on the table, sit down, you will talk to me. Or did you say, hey, buddy, you want to go shoot some hoops and then talk?
Yeah.
Did you go to them and say, what do you like to do? And then when they're comfortable and you meet them where they are, look what Jesus did. He went to tax collectors' homes, ate with them, and said, I'm going to meet you where you're at.
Yeah. And look what the Pharisees accused him of.
Yeah. Yeah. And so with us as parents, are we meeting our child where they're comfortable? You will talk to me around this dinner table right now. That might be the most hard spot for them to open up. What if you were tossing a baseball? That might be a little bit easier to open up and talk.
Yeah. Building a fire in the backyard.
Yep.
Whatever. Go play video games with them. I mean,
my dad did.
What do you have to do? Yeah. I mean, the options are out there. That's a good point.
Yeah. So, all right. And then a couple of things for some applications, right? I love how you said affirming them and what they do good. Think about being proactive with our corrections, not reactive out of anger. We had talked about at the beginning.
Yeah.
Are we going to pair affirmations with some corrections? Hey, buddy, what you did wasn't good, but I love that you were doing what, right? And are we giving them an understanding like, I know this wasn't good, but at the same time, I know you did this good.
Yeah. And a big thing for men in general is they want their dads to tell them they're proud of them.
Yes.
Okay. And so if you're a dad, practice it. I've been practicing this since my kids were very little, and they're, I don't care if they get sick of it. Like, I want them to know that. And here's why. I've seen 70-year-old men cry because they think back to their dads and they say like, hey, I don't know if my dad was proud of me. He never said.
Wow.
And so, I want that in my kids' lives. So for you as a dad, like, tell them that. That's very important.
That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So, yeah, guys, I think we've got a couple of things we can leave here with, with our kids, and how we can be intentional with tough love, with our other men group, and getting into a group with men who are chasing after the same thing. And I think Zach hit it pretty good too. Get somebody older than you, get somebody younger than you, get somebody who's running with you. Right, get somebody who you can do those things with.
Running or cycling, Andy?
We'll do cycling because running. No,
that's not you right now. Okay.
Not right now. No. So, and then with that, have an honest conversation and see what that looks like. What's your next step? Don't look too far ahead and get overwhelmed. What's the next step? Have the conversation, one at a time, and get yourself rolling. Anything else you want to wrap up with?
I think that's good right there. Do you want to get this one last Bible verse?
Hit it. Go ahead.
Micah 6:8, act justly, love mercy, walk humbly with your God.
Yeah, that's good.
Why'd you pick that one, Andy?
Because I think for us, in order to stand tall, first thing we got to do is we got to kneel before the King.
Ooh.
Knights, if you were knighted, it's the first thing you did before you kneeled before the King, and then he commissioned you, go out. So you got to humble yourself before you can stand.
Hold on, let's hit that real quick. So what do we need to do before, ultimately we have a God in heaven who is our Father.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what do we need to do to when God calls us out with some tough love? Right? How do we receive that? How do we make sure we're open to it? What are we looking for, Andy?
For me, I don't care how much, what's the phrase? I don't care how much you know till I know how much you care. So even if my Father in heaven is telling me something really good, if I don't have a relationship with him, it's hard for me to hear it. Jesus even said, the sheep will know my voice. And so do you know his voice? Do you have a relationship with him? If you don't, I think the first step right there is surrendering and saying, Lord, if you are a good Father, if your mercies are new every morning, if you loved me that much, will you speak to me? And I think we have that with the beginning of a relationship.
I'm reminded of a verse, Hebrews 12:6. The Lord disciplines and corrects those whom he loves. So our God and Father, our God the Father, like he our God in heaven, he will correct us. He will guide us. And for me, that's listening to the prompts of the Holy Spirit, right? Yeah. Like, how do you actually get in tune with this? Yeah. And so and I think you know when you mess up. Yeah. But how do we make sure it's not shame versus God's correction?
Yeah. That's a really good question.
Because where's shame come from?
Shame comes from the enemy. That's a lie. It's the pit of hell itself. And so shame leads to isolation. It leads to away from love, where conviction leads to growth, leads to fruit, leads to love, leads to discipline, which then will produce faith and perseverance in order to run the race before us. And so when you get hit with, I messed up, I'm not going to the point of like, great, I need to go by myself. It's, I messed up. How can I learn from this? Take the coaching, take the discipline. Thank you, Lord. And that is where the kneeling comes in, that humbleness. Yeah. And that's where you call from Micah 6:8, humbly before my God.
Yeah, that's a good verse.
Yeah. So, well, guys, we want to wrap this up with thanking our sponsors. We want to thank Quality Auto Mart, Casey's Outdoor Solutions, Hebron Grill, and we want to do one more plug for Strong Dads, because we both, Zach and I, know what groups of men can do for lives. And so if you don't have one, again, reach out to your local church, reach out to other friends that you know are in groups. Come on over to Strong Dads, our St. Leon location, 7484 Christina Drive in West Harrison, Indiana. Come on down. Or if you got other questions, guys, shoot me an email, andy@rocksolidfamilies.org, or give the office a call. Leave a voicemail, 812-576-7625. And then we would love to walk alongside of you to help you plug you into a group, or join, whatever it looks like, whatever you need in that time. What can we do to help?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Do it.
Yeah. Thanks, Zach, for coming on. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. Yeah. I appreciate, and also I'm on the board. So Andy, I appreciate all your work.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, go out there and be a strong dad.
Are you dreaming of a stunning landscape or a refreshed living space? Look no further than Casey's Outdoor Solutions and Gift Shop. Located just outside of Bright, Indiana, Casey specializes in transforming the outside of your home with expert landscaping services. They'll also help you beautify the inside with unique finds from their amazing gift shop. We want to send a huge thank you to Casey's Outdoor Solutions and Gift Shop for being a fantastic sponsor of the Strong Dads podcast. Their support helps us continue to uplift and inspire dads in our community. For all your landscaping dreams and eye-catching home accents, visit Casey's Outdoor Solutions and Gift Shop. That's Casey's, making your home beautiful inside and out.